Their first performance on the much-anticipated 15th season of Strictly Come Dancing won them a standing ovation. But ITV presenter Charlotte Hawkins, 42, and Brendan's Cha-Cha Sugar by Maroon 5 earned them a distinctly lukewarm reception from the judging panel after her performance was branded a dance disaster by a stern Bruno Tonioli. However, Alexandra Burke's performance went down a storm, earning her a score of 9 from each judge and bagging her the top numbers of the night, only outdone by Debbie McGee when the previous week's scores were added up. Charlotte stunned in a glitzy plunging silver mini dress, showing off her shapely pins and enviable curves as she took to the stage. But her less-than-confident performance failed to impress the judges after they accused her of losing her rhythm early on. To flirt on live TV is not an easy thing, and you recovered well from you losing your timing, Darcy said, but you'll come back stronger. And Craig branded the piece a dance disaster with the duo scored a more modest basic score of 12. You did brilliantly last week and your score will be added to that 12, so don't despair, Claudia told the couple optimistically. Looking discouraged, the couple gave a cheering crowd a brave wave before disappearing off stage. In stark contrast was Alexandra Burke, who won the overall top score of the night with a massive 36 out of 40, beat only by Debbie after last week's scores were added to the night's numbers. Despite being the final couple on the dance floor, Alexandra Burke, 29, danced with partner Gorka in the Paso Doble 2 on the floor by Jennifer Lopez, won the highest scores of the night to a standing ovation. Giving Debbie and Giovanni smooch a run for its money, the duo ended the performance in a mock kiss, and a breathless Alexandra Burke got a standing ovation. The awestruck panel marked the dance with the night's top score of 36 and smashing the show's scores, but still fell behind Debbie's after last week's scores were added up. Opening the show earlier in the night, Tess Daly put on a confident display as she opened the second live show of the series on Saturday, dressed in a strapless nude jumpsuit which made the most of her statuesque physique. Wearing her glossy blonde hair in tumbling waves, the 48-year-old presenter was joined by Claudia Winkleman, 45, who sizzled in a black bardet dress. Aston, Merrygold and Ruth Langsford began the show in the lead, topping the board with the leading scores following last week's first live show. And opening the show with a touch of comedy was Holby City actress Chizzy Akudolu, 43, and Pasha performed the foxtrot to I'm a Woman from Smokey Joe's Cafe. Dressed in a plunging purple frock, she started the skit with a fun scene by the breakfast table before breaking into the foxtrot to the sound of rapturous cheers from an applauding audience. But Shirley Ballas didn't agree, calling her performance disappointing and too lumpy for her taste. "I want more sophistication," Shirley added, but Chizzy quipped back, "I'm not a Rolls Royce, too expensive." "Too sassy too soon," Bruno Tonioli added, putting the disappointed dancer firmly in her place. Pulling no punches, a stern Craig Revel Horwood added more foxtrot and less musical theater. Darcy was kinder, gushing, "I don't want to cut any of that enthusiasm," applauding her performance value. After the dance, Chizzy laughed and shocked viewers as she adjusted her wig, announcing, "Sorry to all the black women around the world." "I just have to do this." The performance won the couple a score of 16 and added to last week's score, making an overall score of 37. Next was JLS star Aston Merrygold, 29, and Jeanette, who gave a colorful salsa to Despacito remix by Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee feat. Justin Bieber. Unfortunately, Jeanette suffered a little tumble on her head, but she styled it out quickly, and Bruno appeared impressed with their performance. "I've never seen such a difficult sequence of lifts," he gushed, impressed. The thrilled judges gave them an impressive score of 32, and the duo were thrilled with the results. Scottish comedian Susan Calman, 42, and partner Kevin Clifton won an impressive basic score of 32 with their hit performance of Charleston 2, If You Knew Susie by Enoch Light and the Charleston City All-Stars. Cranford star Joe McFadden, 41, and Katya were up next, dancing the tango to Castle on the Hill by Ed Sheeran. Their dance got a lukewarm reaction from the panel, scoring a score of 22 out of 40. Joining bottom of the leaderboard were comedian Brian Conley, 53, and Amy, who performed the Cha-Cha-Da Shake Your Groove Thing by Peaches and Urban. They recovered their overall score with an impressive scoring from the panel. Holyoke star Gemma Atkinson, 32, and dance partner Alja's waltzing to an Italian version of A Time for Us by Josh Groban. Gemma put on a head-turning display in a plunging sequin blue dress, but it was her dance that impressed the judges. The blonde beauty's performance was rated as very impressive, winning them a score of 27. Despite landing in the bottom half of the scoreboard last week, Rev. Richard Coles, 55, and Diane seemed confident as they performed in American Smooth to Love Really Hurts Without You by Billy Ocean. Giving last year's Ed Balls a run for his money with his questionable moves, his performance was met by a wailing Darcy, before she surprisingly added, "I love you." Falling petals have more grace, a cutting Craig added honestly to boos from the crowd. And despite the somewhat stiff performance, Richard won a score of 17. Next up was presenter Ruth Langsford, 57, and Anton, who performed a Charleston to the Charleston by Bob Wilson and his Varsity Rhythm Boys. Ruth put on a rather saucy display in a red wig and 60s gold sequin dress, with her dance being praised by the judges with a top score. Despite a hamstring injury contracted during practice, Ruth managed to score an impressive 20. TV chef Simon Rimmer, 54, and Karen Clifton performed an emotional waltz to You'll Never Walk Alone by Rodgers and Hammerstein. And the performance resulted in Shirley Ballas almost breaking down, giving an emotional tribute to the song, and winning in a high score. "That song means a lot of different things to different people," she said, her voice breaking and eyes welling up, "so thank you for that performance." Saturday star Molly King, 30, was up next with AJ, performing the tango to Addicted to Love by Tina Turner. With the screen set to black and white, the blonde beauty's scarlet frock and bold red lips stood out as she gave a confident performance to the hit song. Following their performance, AJ picked her up in excitement, thrilled with the results of their dance. "You certainly connected with your partner," Bruno teased of their on-screen chemistry, demonstrating with Shirley how you should hold your partner before holding his hands up and exclaiming, "I didn't touch anything." The impressed panel scored the thrilled couple with a high score of 25. Paralympian Johnny Peacock, 34, and Odie performed an energetic jive to Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry and got a standing ovation from the crowd, getting a score of 29. Sweeping onto the dance floor in a sky blue floor-length gown was late magician Paul Daniels' widow Debbie McGee, 58, who performed a Viennese waltz to She's Always a Woman by Billy Joel with Giovanni Pernice. After causing controversy with their kissing skit last week, the duo put on a more classically romantic performance. Usually stern Craig branded the performance amazing, and the couple were scored an impressive 34, topping the leaderboard and smashing the night's scores. But despite impressing the judges, viewers were not quite as happy with the results, sending Twitter into overdrive after accusing Debbie of having professional dance experience. Speeding up the tempo was EastEnders star Dawood Gadami, 36, who performed a quick step to Last Night by The Strokes with Nadia. Craig and Bruno branded the energy of the dance incredible, and the couple got a high score of 27. With Debbie in the lead, Rev Richard and Charlotte Hawkins fell to the bottom of the leaderboard, relying on the public score ahead of Sunday's elimination. The 15th series of the show kicked off on the 10th September, revealing the hotly anticipated pairings, with a newly shaken-up judging panel headed up by Shirley Ballas after Len Goodman retired earlier this year. She joined the traditional Strictly judging panel, which consists of Craig Revel Horwood, Bruno Tonioli and Darcy Bussell. The first live show last week got off to a controversial start after Bruno Tonioli outraged fans when he appeared to cup Shirley Ballas' breast. According to The Sun, Strictly Come Dancing bosses have reportedly been hit by a barrage of complaints from fans about the incident and are said to be investigating after around 20 people objected. A source told the website that although Bruno's behavior was meant to be harmless, viewers did not feel the same. They said the BBC has now received formal complaints and will be officially looking into them to decide whether Bruno's behavior was acceptable. He obviously thought it was lighthearted fun, but you could tell Tess was shocked by her reaction. She looked completely aghast. Bruno is obviously a larger-than-life sort of character, but a number of viewers felt that touching a woman's chest like that, even in jest, sends out the wrong message. The BBC declined to comment when approached by Mail Online.